at this point, as I've said in other of these conversations, I love quoting Roger Walsh, who says, we're in a race between fear and consciousness, because never before has there been the possibilities of humans having such an influence that it could be the destruction of much of life on the planet. So I also love taking the bigger picture. That always helps me. And there is this sense of urgency, or that, particularly with climate change or things like that, that can up the ante a bit, that easily can contract the mind and get us in worry mode. And when that gets activated, how do you find, what do you do to help calm you down, and besides seeing the bigger perspective just in this moment when your whole system is activated?
One thing is to be really careful about rumination. And I think back many times to essentially a quotation from the Dharma that you brought to my awareness, that essentially your mind takes its shape from what it repeatedly rests upon, for better or worse. That's a paraphrase. And particularly if you know a little bit about your brain, one of the most striking findings is that negativity bias. As I put it, it's like Velcro for the bad, but Teflon for the good. So, and the art, of course, especially for people who are engaging mindfulness, including from a non-dual perspective, the art is to be able to fully be with the facts that you're aware of and your emotional reactions to them without getting hijacked by them. I think of this line from the Buddha that's very central to me in terms of his description of his state of mind as he approached his own awakening. He said essentially, terrible things, painful, racking feelings arose, but they did not invade my mind and remain. That's the art, to be able to be with what's true and to develop inner resources that can sustain equanimity alongside profound compassion, to be able to be with what's true without it invading the mind and remaining, in terms of obsessing about it and ruminating about it and just going round, particularly with qualities of helpless anger, right? And fear, anger, and helplessness. That's a toxic combination for the brain, and it wears down our capacity over time to speak truth to power, do things for justice, and so forth. So that's a big takeaway for me, is to have little bells go off. I think a little bit of the saying from Tsoknyi Rinpoche, think the same thought again and again, that's fine, but 10 is enough. It's kind of like, it's like that enough point. I think of that as a Goldilocks moment where I've been with this, I've been mindful of it, I've felt it, and it's harmful for me and probably for others as well to dwell upon it and allow it to invade my mind.